What if the Roman Empire never fell? Would the world as we know it even exist? Would we be speaking Latin instead of English? Would the Roman legion still rule vast territories? Or would we be living in a futuristic Roman utopia or a dystopian empire of control? The fall of Rome in 476 AD marked the end of an era. But what if history took a different path? Let's explore an alternate reality where the Roman Empire never collapsed and instead shaped the modern world in ways we can only imagine. Why did Rome fall? Before we rewrite history, we must first understand why Rome collapsed. The empire stretched from Britain to the Middle East, but its size became its greatest weakness. Corruption rotted its government, economic instability drained its resources, and relentless barbarian invasions shattered its borders. But what if Rome found a way to survive? What if it adapted, reformed, and thrived instead of crumbling into history? In our alternate timeline, Rome sees its weaknesses and makes bold reforms. It decentralizes power, integrating conquered peoples into the empire rather than treating them as outsiders. The legions modernize, adopting superior tactics to defend their vast borders. Rome's economy stabilizes, shifting toward industrialization centuries ahead of schedule. With a solid foundation, the empire expands. Europe remains under Roman control. North Africa thrives under Roman governance, and the Middle East becomes a vital part of a unified empire. Latin remains the dominant global language, spoken across continents. Imagine a world where Roman roads evolved into modern highways 1,000 years earlier, where aqueducts laid the groundwork for advanced plumbing and infrastructure that shaped future cities. A world where gladiator games didn't vanish but transformed into a globalized sport, much like modern-day football or mixed martial arts. One of the biggest consequences of Rome's survival? The Industrial Revolution doesn't wait until the 18th century, it begins much earlier. Roman engineers, already masters of architecture and mechanics, developed steam-powered technology, leading to rapid advancements in transportation, warfare, and infrastructure. With no medieval period to slow progress, we might see Roman factories emerging by the 10th century. Perhaps the first automobiles would bear the insignia of the eagle, and steam-powered war machines would dominate the battlefield before the Renaissance even begins. The world would be unrecognizable, but would it be better? With no rival nations to challenge it, Rome's influence stretches across the world. Other great civilizations, like China and the Americas, may develop differently or even be absorbed into the Roman sphere. Would the world unite under one empire, or would resistance movements rise to challenge it? A single superpower controlling the planet could lead to unprecedented technological and cultural growth, but it could also lead to something far darker. A world where a single authority dictates all aspects of life, with no competition, no alternative ideologies, and no escape from Rome's rule. Fast forward to today. What would Rome look like in the 21st century? Would it be a democracy, or would emperors still rule with absolute power? Would there be a Roman version of the internet, connecting provinces across the globe? Would Roman spacecraft have reached the moon long before 1969? Imagine Roman skyscrapers towering over vast metropolises, a globalized economy centered around the Eternal City, and a world government led by the descendants of Roman senators. Would we live in a technological utopia driven by efficiency and innovation, or would we exist under a militarized state where dissent is crushed beneath the iron fist of imperial rule? So, what do you think? Would the world be better if Rome never fell? Would we be living in an advanced global civilization, or trapped in an empire with no escape? One thing is certain: history is fragile. A single moment can change everything. Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and if you love exploring alternate history, don't forget to subscribe for more twisted realities.